Some time ago in Abuja, a group of creative bakers organized a cake show to celebrate womanhood. Let's enjoy the recap of the show.
As people come out here to display their work of art, you see a particular job that is nice. You can be inspired to learn from such a person.
Being in the same professional craft and business is no big deal to these women. They believe that successful and intelligent women don't compete. They only complement one another. Celebrating womanhood was initiated by Taiwo Abe, a diligent baker and businesswoman, and other creative women supported her to make the show a success.
Some of us put our heads together. Now, how do we celebrate ourselves as bakers? And most of us are women. So we deem it fit that in this show, it's better we celebrate ourselves for the hard work we do, for the great task, we engage ourselves in before we could deliver any cake job.
The event was an avenue for bakers in attendance to exhibit creative pieces, connect, network, and learn new techniques in cake decoration. Take a look at the showstopper. It is a massive 4-tier cake with an edible picture of an elegant woman. Each of the cupcake around the circular base carries the picture of various successful women. Notable women's picture that you see on the cupcakes include Mrs. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, Professor Dora Aquili, Feikemi Arola Shafe, Lame Messi Negedu, Adebimpe Oladimeji, Modupe Ola Oluwomakon, and a host of others. You'll agree with me that this is indeed a creative masterpiece. This is another creative piece that speaks volume. It is a 3-tier cake with a woman in a traditional attire crafted on it. The artistic painting of the sunset as well as other accessories on this cake keeps me wondering, what does the cake artist intend to project?
Looking at the work, a woman actually goes through a lot in life. I was able to tell a story there that's from how she goes to the farm, how she copes with her children, her home, and everything as a whole. It's something that is worth celebrating for a woman. The design, I basically was able to show like 3 stories. One was the sunset, that's in the morning, the first thing the woman does, and that had colors of orange, yellow, the natural background of the trees. Then I had another scene where I showed a woman going to a waterfall to fetch water from the river. And I had another scene at sunset whereby women they are walking till late in the evening.
Many other cakes displayed at the event focused on beauty and fashion accessories peculiar with women.
I work with intuition as my body directs. I keep creating. I first of all cover the cake white. Then I employ the use of an airbrush. That's what I use in achieving the green. All that. Then I start adding the golds, those finishing that make it pop, so it comes out looking real like a real cake. The handle is basically fondant. So I created the fondant, I like to set. The impression was that of an alligator skin. So I impressed that, wrap it around the handle, and then keep it to set for some time before I then attached it to the cake. So the itself is the main cake because it's a real cake, but the handle is fondant. Every other accessory like the name tag, the buttons, all the zipper, all those are fondant.
It was made for women, to celebrate women. Most of the things on it are like women themed. It's a bas relief, and bas relief is actually something that speaks the same language. Just like on the cake, there are like lipstick there, there are women faces there, there are eyeshadows, there are a lot of things that actually speaks about women. And the writing there talks of how women are outstanding, the quality of women.
If you intend to create an unusual and mind-blowing cake decorations, gelatin bubbles can do the magic. Gelatin bubbles, also known as gelatin balls, are great on all kind of celebration cakes like the birthday, the bridal shower, baby shower, and even a wedding cake. They make a luxurious and colorful finishing that can wow your client. Although gelatin is edible, the balls are not meant for eating. Just ensure you take the balls off the cake before serving. A facilitator, Mudukweola Oluwomakon, took the participants through the procedures of making gelatin balls.
Then I'm using my glitter. Some people call it disco, right? That's what makes it have this sparkle effect on it. So just after a few seconds, it's sticking up already. It's sticking up already. So I'm just applying my chocolate to my bowl. it's actually very cheap. With a gelatin of like 200 naira, a sachet of gelatin of 200 naira, you can achieve up to like 10 balls. So I think it's cheap.
Yes, I've seen chocolate balls, I've seen gelatin balls, but I haven't actually done it. I've actually seen YouTube videos, but not this close up. And then you cannot get real recipes on videos, on YouTube videos. Okay, so but it was really a rewarding class for me, and I enjoyed every bit of it. It's something that you can actually try and get it exactly as the teacher taught it, because that's how she made it as clear as possible. She brought it down to the barest. Anybody can understand it, even somebody who has not done cake before. That's how easy it is. So I think it's something that am going to try.
At the Royal Icing class, another facilitator, Clara Ame, displayed how a cake can be elegantly decorated with the royal icing cowries, ropes, and shells.
If you are going for any international competition and you don't know royalism, whether you're doing flowers or anything, it's going to take you back. And the royal families, which are the ones that really started the elegance of cakes, are still doing royal icing till today. The queens in all, like the Queen of Belgium, the Queen of England, if she has to do any cake till today, it's still the royal icing. That's why it's called royal.
But I love royal icing because of the tax, because it's taxi and it's challenging. So coming back, it's very interesting to work with royal icing, and it makes you to be a unique baker if you can work well with royal icing.
That was why I didn't want to go beyond that level of beginners and basics. And royalizing is not like something you go beginners, advanced, advanced, advanced. If you know the basics, the rest is for you to practice.
Next on our lineup is a commemorative event of an industrious, super creative, and amiable cake artist, Birunke Adelokun. She put together this event to mark a decade anniversary in the baking industry. Here are some excerpts from the show.
It takes a whole lot and consistency to achieve success without being distracted, discouraged, or derailed. Having taught and practiced cake making and decorations for a decade, Adelokun Ibironke deemed it necessary to make the anniversary with some alumni and friends. She organized the event to impact on the baking generation so that upcoming bakers can understand that it is possible for one to start small and grow big in the baking business.
10 years is a great landmark, and it's an opportunity to say, God, I thank you, and let it not just go. And I look at it that learning has really shaped me.
At this landmark event, alumni and friends of the celebrant facilitated a training session for the bakers in attendance. Painting on buttercream was displayed by Margaret Abiodun. This facilitator artistically demonstrated how painting on buttercream decoration can be achieved neatly.
When it comes to the act of cake, it takes hours, at times days, to be able to put together something, a masterpiece. So for you to paint on cake, buttercream or fondant, you need to be very patient.
Another buttercream technique was handled by Olubodun Adewale. He took the class through watercolor effects on buttercream.
How I achieved this, I took only one rice paper. Let's assume this is the rice paper.
The designs that I taught today is very, very easy and straightforward. So far you follow the method used for it, you get it straightforward. It's not something that is very, very difficult, and it's not something that is rigid. It's something that is flexible.
Why Olukemi Adesono demonstrated how bakers can create transparent boxes for cakes and snacks for decent and pretty packaging.
There are different ways you can work with your boxes, right? Now, this one too is not necessarily for cake alone. You can just play around with. And then this one is easy for you to make because you can make different sizes of it. Like just having just one size of the imported container that you buy. Box making is not a difficult venture, basically. Then for cake makers, I would advise that they can actually make their own boxes themselves. It's not rocket science. Once you know what you have to do, then you go for it. The materials are all available around us. You don't need to import anything as it were. You can always get it from, irrespective of wherever your location or vicinity is.
And of course, there was the cutting edge of the anniversary cake, and some participants share their thoughts.
The instructor was precise on what she was teaching the students. And in marketing, in presenting your products, you need good packaging. And that's why the cake box come into play. Sometimes you go to the market to get boxes for your cake. They don't have exactly size of what you want. But with this class now, even if you have a client that wants a cake that is as huge as this building, you can make a box to package it to the person. It's very, very important because the world today is going global and you need to meet up with the trend of what's happening today in the world. Bakers need to come together once in a while to share ideas, to learn new skills and new things, how it is being done all over the world. Nigeria should have been an exception.
It's very good because I was able to pick, this is gravity edifying cake. In that you look at the cake, you won't know it's as if it's suspended. You'll be wondering what's this? What magic is this? So as I have attended the class today, I've learned what it is all about, and that is not actually magic. That is the essence of the training.
My advice to the Nigerian bakers is you need to get up from your comfort zone and give it all it takes to develop yourself and the sky will be your limit so that we can also compete with people in the outside world when time comes. And I'm happy.
The food that enters the mind must be watched as closely as the food that enters the body. Pat Buchanan. The existence of mankind today could not have been possible without having adequate food supply. Many countries have found that it is necessary to develop food safety systems from the farm to the dining table. For the professionals or the mamas in the kitchen, everyone should follow standard food safety procedures to ensure that life is preserved. This is what the book, Thriving and Excelling as a Food Handler, tends to examine. A book written by Mrs. Adelokun Ibironke, a graduate of hotel and catering management.
If you cook food, if you make cake, anything that goes into the mouth, if you do cocktail drinks, you are a food handler. What are the things you are supposed to know coming into this kind of profession? Because the food industry is a kind of industry that has easy entry. A lot of people are not certified before they start. You need to know how to do it right and what steps are you supposed to take.
Other professionals from the industry in attendance appreciated the value and importance of having such a book as a guide for them during the book review.
It's all encompassing. It tells somebody who is coming up, you're thinking of what to do once you've discovered that food is your passion. From the beginning to the end, to have your establishment, the book is very good.
I think it's an asset to bakers. Every baker must have this book. It's so little but very detailed. It tells you all the ethics, as a baker, and much more. It helps you build your business.
Given the reality of the global health crisis the world has found itself in today, the relevance of the book Thriving and Excelling as a Food Handler cannot be overemphasized in the food industry.
Remember that successful and intelligent women don't compete. They only support one another to achieve greater height. That's our package for you today on Baker's World. We hope that you've had a wonderful time on the show. You can reach us at any time on our social media handle, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's Baker's World on NTA. Until we come your way next week with a more interesting episode, I am Funke Oyele. See you soon.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Honorable colleagues, I have approved the votes and proceedings of 3rd of March, Thursday, 3rd of March, 2022. 2022 approved your appointment as the appointment of Francis Chinedu Akuweze as clerk to the Senate in the National Assembly with effect from the 3rd of March, 2022. The appointment is in recognition of your hard work and administrative competence, and is therefore expected that you will continue to uphold the confidence reposed to you. While congratulating you on this appointment, please accept our best wishes. Honorable colleagues, like I was telling one or two members, appointment to the Senate, I don't want anybody to misread it. It's not, I don't see it as a promotion, because the clerk of the House and the clerk of the Senate are at par. I don't want the wrong message to be sent that when you leave here, you're being promoted. There's no such thing, but perhaps our clerks' skills are required in the Senate. So congratulations all the same. I'm not happy to see him leave. We've worked very well with him. He's a perfect gentleman. And if I had my way, I'll keep him here. But the bureaucracy has decided that they need his services in the Senate. In his place, we have appointed as acting clerk Danzaria Yahaya Hamidu. His appointment is in recognition of his hard work as well and his administrative competence. He's an old hand, we all know him, and we hope and believe that with the same professionalism that is always exhibited, and that the clerk and that Chinedu exhibited will also be the same professionalism we will see with Mr. Danzaria. Thank you and congratulations. The appointment of the acting deputy clerk, Legislative House of Representatives, and that is Fatai Jimo, our new acting deputy clerk, whose appointment is in recognition of his hard work and administrative competence. It is therefore expected that he will continue to uphold the confidence reposed in him. Mr. Jimo, congratulations. You are welcome as the acting deputy clerk of the House. Thank you.
At the commencement of plenary, the Speaker read out a presidential communication seeking consideration and amendment of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act.
Honorable colleagues, I have a letter from Mr. President, which, from what I'm seeing, came on the 28th of February, but it's just coming to my attention, which is the same letter that was written to the Senate, and that is on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, Electoral Act Amendment 2022, titled Matters Arising, and Mr. President is seeking an amendment to Section 84.12, which, according to Mr. President, the practical application of Section 84.12 of the Electoral Act is to subject serving political office holders to inhibitions and restrictions referred to under Section 40 and 42 of the 1999 Constitution. So that letter is from Mr. President. We'll send it to the appropriate quarters, the committee to look at it. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of misunderstanding as to the provisions of 84.12. I will not go into that now, but the understanding that people have out there is not exactly the import of 84.12. Yes.
I saw the piece of newspaper that there's an order of court barring us from considering this. I just don't want us to go foul of the law in the process of carrying out our duties. Actually, we should take note of that before you go assigning the thing to any committee. We should take note of that first.
Last week, the House voted on the constitutional amendment, and there are issues arising therefrom, and the House, in its wisdom, has decided to take a course of action for the good of the country. And that action is to rescind 3 of the decisions that were taken on that day, and after the rescission, release them on the next set of amendments coming up. I believe, Deputy Speaker, in the next 4 weeks, within the next 4 weeks, it will come up again for voting. But the important thing is that we rescind 3 of those decisions. I will now call on the Chairman, Business and Rules, Honorable Fulata, to move for suspension of the rules so that you can take the rescission down.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, motion for decision on 3 bills. 1, Indigenship Bill. 2, Citizenship Bill. 3, 35% political party leadership for women. Honorable colleagues may recall that on the 1st of March, we voted for constitutional amendment in respect of 68 bills. So, Speaker, honorable colleagues, you recall that on the 1st of March, the House voted for 68 items in respect of a constitutional amendment. However, the aforementioned 3 bills could not step through because we could not obtain the 2/3 majority to pass the bills. Accordingly, in line with our excellent rules, I move that we suspend our excellent rules, 1, to rescind our election in respect of these 3 bills and recommit them to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu and I represent an area of Goji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second that we resigned our rules to ensure that today being International Day of Women, that our women folk are further, better, accommodated in this environment, mindful of the fact that they constitute about 50% of our population. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Once we rescind these 3 clauses, and we'll take them again in the next few weeks, if we still at that point have a difference with the Senate, we will go for harmonization. Now, harmonization might not be the practice when it comes to constitutional matter amendment, because I've heard this thing argued here and there. But to harmonize the differences between us and the Senate, this will go through. So I guess it's just to put the question now, correct? All right. Those in support of those 3 bills or decisions be rescinded, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Coincidentally, today is the International Women's Day. So congratulations to everybody. I will now, the Deputy Speaker will now take over proceedings.
any member who has a matter of urgent public importance?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiruka Onyejoch. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Munoch Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, Honorable colleagues. I am from Abia State. I rise to order 8. I rise to solicit the leave of the House to let me come under order 8, rule 4.1 on matter of urgent public importance concerning International Women's Day, Mr. Speaker. And I want the matter to be taken now. With your leave, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
A motion on urgent need to acknowledge today, March 8, 2022, as International Women's Day and recognize the important role of Nigerian women in the socio-economic development of Nigeria. The House notes that March 8th of every year has been set aside by the United Nations as the Global Day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The House further notes that the United States theme for this year's observance is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, which appropriately captures the fundamental nature of women's role in nation building and the need to develop it. Aware that the women have always been essential and their actions decisive in the development of Nigeria from pre-colonial times to present day. The House is further aware that Nigerians' traditional, religious, socio-economic, and political content has enjoyed the robust contributions of such memorable women as Philomena of Zaria, Mrs. Fumilayo Ransome-Kuti, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the late Dora Akunyelu, and our past and present First Ladies, including the late Miriam Babangida and so many others. Mindful that presently Nigerian women still suffer from issues of discrimination, abuse, and stereotyping in the home, workplace, and in public. Concerned that the low awareness of the contributions of women to the nation's development, coupled with the inattention to the negative results arising from discrimination to women, will consequently discourage women from contributing meaningfully to the nation. The House believes that the House of Representatives, National Assembly, and indeed the federal government of Nigeria can recognize the impact of women on the development of the nation and protect and advance the cause of women generally. The House resolves to join the international community to celebrate women and recognize the role of women as nation builders and a decisive force in the advancement of the country. The House also resolves to collaborate with civil liberty groups to raise the awareness of issues affecting women and assist with solutions to address those issues. And lastly, the House resolves to focus on initiatives and develop legislation
to affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so help me God. Oath of a member of the House of Representatives. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as a member of the House of Representatives, I will perform my functions honestly to the best of my ability, faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. And the rules of the House, and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being, and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will strive to preserve the fundamental objectives and directives, principles of state policy contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that I will abide by the Code of Conduct contained in the 5th Schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Mr. Speaker, if both of them are PDP members, they should swear by the holy books.
I think
that will be safe. If two of them are of the PDP, let them swear by the holy books.
Congratulations.
Osai, I'm not comfortable if both of them are PDP members. They should swear by their holy books. And coming at this hour. It's a balanced equation. Balanced equation. 50-50. Eh?
This is the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, reaching you live from the House of Representatives for Thursday's plenary. The Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Idris Wasi, is presiding over the day's sitting, and there are quite a number of legislative items to be considered today. From what we can see on the other paper, there is a bill, an establishment bill, seeking to repeal and reenact the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investments. It is for second reading. There is also another bill for second reading, a bill seeking the establishment of National Public Safety Board and for related matters. Two newly elected members in the by-election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission have just been sworn in, and the House is about to go into other activities. I'm Lami Ali, thanking you for joining us.
Jos Plateau State. Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Also at the gallery, we have Divine Model International Gifted Schools. Can you rise for recognition? Lastly, we have a unique international academy. On a sad note, I regret to announce the death of the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Shaka, who died on Wednesday 9th March 2022 at the Bedouin State University Teaching Hospital, Makodi. Burial arrangement will be communicated to the House later. Signed, Honorable Richard Bende, member representing Kasina Ala, Ukum Logo Federal Constituency. Colleagues, you may recall sometimes last week, the Speaker announced to us of the movement of our clerk, Mr. Francis Chinedu Akubeze, to the Senate. Today, he will take a bow in line with our tradition, having served with us. Mr. Francis Chinedu Mbek, proceed to take a bow. Though not valedictory, I believe the Speaker, when he returns, a very good occasion will be organized for you. Maybe a send-up thought, maybe a valedictory, I don't know. It depends on what the leadership will think about having worked with you, and we enjoy working with you. We wish you the best of luck in your next place of assignment. Thank you very much. You're welcome. It's a pleasure that God will lead you and guide you and protect you. Thank you. Any member who has a petition to present to the House may please rise to do so. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Femi Adebanjo. I represent Alimosho Federal Constituency of Lake. I want to inform the National Assembly, especially the House of Representatives, concerning the masking of our faces coming to the chamber. For the past 2 months, I've not heard of any case of COVID in Nigeria or abroad. The masking privilege. Mr. Speaker, sir, the masking and the fact has been a very painful one. And the earlier, the better we relax the rules that compulsorily ask honorable members to wear the mask. If you look around, you can see how many people that are using the mask. It affects our respiratory system and our lungs. So there is no more COVID in Nigeria, there is no more COVID abroad. I prefer we relax the rules, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know, you didn't cite a point of order. But I want to advise that as legislators we are supposed to be complying with the rules set in the country, the Constitution, the Act. And it is by the leave of the House and by the grace of God that we have the NC, National Disease Control, and they are responsible for regulating our affairs and conduct. So it is not for the Speaker to rule on their own duty that has been assigned duly by the Act of the National Assembly. And I want to beg that we should continue to comply with the regulations set for our country and the world at large. Thank you very much. But we will note your own concern. And I thought, as you were speaking, I didn't see you remark, but I'm grateful that you have now won the mark. So your point of order is noted.
approaching plenary from the Green Chamber, that's the House of Representatives. A House member has just raised the point of order seeking permission from the chair to relax COVID rules, that is to allow members to come and participate in plenary without having to wear the face mask. But the Deputy Speaker rather, who is presiding, just informed the House that that decision is for the National Center for Disease Control to make, not for the chair to give that directive.
Okay, sorry. Yes, sir. Yeah, petition. Yes, sir. Kindly press the request, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Ahmed, aka Morovia. I'm from the Center of Learning, Kaduna State, and I represent Kaduna South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have a number of petitions that I want to lay before the House today. Mr. Speaker, petition number 1 is from Aliyu Yunusa against Federal Road Safety Co. on the termination of his appointment and withholding of his benefits. Second petition, Mr. Speaker, is against the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited on a plea by a community to intervene over the impunity, dehumanization, and extreme casualization and discrimination of labor practices by the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company. Mr. Speaker, the third petition is against Nesria on the issue of due process, celebration of corruption, and general administrative lapses. Mr. Speaker, the fourth petition is also against the Nigerian Army, the 72 Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Banknote Makodi, on demand for investigation and identification and punishment of culprits and payment of compensation to family of a victim. Finally, Mr. Speaker, is a complaint against non-payment of salary for 14 years by the Federal Ministry of Environment by Shehu Aliyu on behalf of himself and 15 others. With your permission, Mr. Speaker, I will lay the petitions before the House. Thank you.
You may go ahead and lay a petition. Any other petition? Colleagues, the call announced to you the demise of our former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Can we please rise for 1 minute silence in his honor? His gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you. Any member who has a matter of urgent public importance to present to the House may please ask to do so. Yes, Honorable Zondo.
Good morning, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Benjamin Bem Mzondu. I speak for the people of Makudi, Guma. We are from Benue State. I'm also the Speaker of the Teaming Unemployed Youth of Nigeria. I rise this morning under Order 804 to bring a matter of urgent public importance on the very urgent need to stop the renewed and increasing terrorist attack and gruesome killings by armed herdsmen and banditry in Benue communities. I so move.
Seconder. Honorable Nalarva. Point of order. Who's raising a point of order?
Withdrawn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues. Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba is my name. I represent the good people of Awedo, Makana Federal Constituency. And I represent the good people of Awedo, my federal constituency. I'm from National State. Mr. Speaker, I want to take the leave of the House to address you from the seat here. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my dear brother, Honorable Bemzondo. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion that is urgent and that will suspend our rule to take it now, say aye. Against, say nay. That's a bit. Honorable Zondo, you can please go ahead and present that motion.
Benjamin, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, Honorable Benjamin, a very great young man, agile and quite robust on the floor. I thought when Honorable Monguno was trying to call point of order, your order should have been calling Benjamin to order that on the floor of the House of Reps, no one can identify himself as the Speaker. If you are the Speaker of the unemployed youth, you can speak that outside. But when you are here, you address yourself something else, maybe ambassador, representatives, but don't address yourself as the Speaker. We have one Speaker on this floor at a time. Please. I concur with you. We will also speak for the unemployed, but outside. But when you want to address yourself here, don't say I'm the Speaker of the unemployed. Mr. Speaker, that's my observation on a lighter mood.
Thank you. Your observation taken. That wasn't what he said in his own statement. And I want to believe that what is the leader of the House brought our attention to is quite very much in order, so that would be decorous in what we do, and we have a procedure as to what we should do in terms of how we should introduce our names and whatever. They are clearly spelled out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues. Thank you to the leader of the House as well for raising that observation. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Benjamin Bem Zondu. I also represent the unemployed youth of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker.
From which constituency?
From the Nigerian constituency.
Well, please be guided. The Constitution recognizes constituencies in Nigeria, and that's why you are elected to come here. Please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the House notes the concern with the renewed and increasing terrorist attack and gruesome killings by armed herdsmen and bandits on Benue communities in Guma, Makudi, Way West local government areas of the state. Aware that the early hours of Monday, 7th of March 2022, suspected armed herdsmen and bandits unleashed terror on Ahente community, Bagay in Nzoru Council Ward of Guma local government area of Benue State. Worried that 5 persons were gruesomely killed and several others sustained various degrees of injuries in the recent herdsmen and banditry attacks on the Ahense community of Nzoro. Also worried of another attack in the early hours of today, Thursday, the 10th day of March 2022, in Ye, in Uvi Council Ward of Guma local government area, killing 6 persons and injuring over 20 persons. Concerned that the suspicion and collusion of the connivance of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in the attack, as an army unit is said to be stationed at Teyode, a settlement of less than 5 kilometers from Ahense, where the invading herdsmen and bandits operated for more than 2 hours without any intervention from any security agency. Cognizance that the notice of proscription order as contained in the Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette dated 29 September 2021, Volume 108, on the activities of Yambidiga Group, Yantada Group, and other similar armed wading groups in Nigeria are declared to be terrorists and illegal in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and the north-central region of Nigeria, are proscribed pursuant to Section 1 and 2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011. Again, aware of the provision of the Official Gazette that any person or group of persons participating in any manner whatsoever in any form of activities involving or concerning the prescription of collective intentions or otherwise of groups referred to in paragraph 1 of this notice will be violating the provisions of the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011 and liable to prosecution. Also conscious of the provision of Section 42B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which guarantees the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government, especially the federal government of Nigeria. I therefore move that this House resolve, 1, commiserate with the families that those who were killed in this dastard act and attack and observe a 1-minute silence in honor of the deceased. 2, urge the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police Force, and other security agencies to ensure enforcement of the proscription order as published in the Official Gazette, Volume 108 of November 2021, which declared the activities of bandits and such groups as acts of terrorism and illegal in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and in the north-central region of Nigeria, proscribed pursuant to Section 1-2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011. 3, mandate security agencies to rise up and stem the rising killing of innocent persons across Benue communities, especially those bordering Benue Nasra communities of Guma and Makudi local government area. Also urge the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs to send relief materials to the affected areas to assist the displaced persons. Mandate the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness and National Security to ensure compliance. I so move.
Seconded to the motion. Honorable Blessing. Is there a seat?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Princess Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent the people of Isi Alambano, Onimo, Okigwe Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. I rise to second the motion of urgent public importance as ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Colleagues, this is a very straight motion, and he has successfully explained himself. So I want to put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. Let's have it. The business of the day is presentation of report of the ad hoc committee. Sorry. Thank you. Can we please rise for the 1-minute silence? May the soul of the peaceful departed rest in perfect peace. Respected colleagues, the business of the day is presentation of the report of the ad hoc committee on the need to intervene in the diplomatic row between Nigeria and United Arab Emirates, standing the name of Honorable Yusuf Buba Yakub. Honorable board members recall the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 16 November 2021. Honorable Yakub is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Yusuf Buba Yakub. I represent Gombe Hong Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on the need to intervene in diplomatic row between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Benilar.
I represent Langtang North and South Federal Constituency. May I move to second this very important motion that this report be received by the House? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Buba, please go ahead and present a layer report. The first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of people and act to repeal the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers Act C9 Law Regulation Nigeria 2004 and provide for the establishment of Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment and Corporate Matters. Standing in Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, all members will call the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 22nd February 2022. I now invite Honorable Ibrahim to move that the bill be read the second time.
Be careful.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name remains Honorable Babangida Ibrahim. I'm representing Malamfashi Kafur Federal Constituency. I'm from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move a bill for an act to repeal the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers Act, C9 Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and to provide for establishment of Chartered Institute of Security and Investment and for related matters, SB 1858, be read for the second time. I so move.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, and Ms. Boniface Merengwa. I represent the good people of Ikwere, Imo Federal Constituency. I'm from River State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that the bill for an act to repeal the Chartered Institute of Brokers and Laws of the Federation provided as moved by my colleague, be read for the second time. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Do I have to put the question or want to throw more light? Put the question. Those in favor that the bill be read second time say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The clerk is invited to read the long title for the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to repeal the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers Act, C9 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and provide for establishment of Chartered Institute of Securities and Investments and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Capital Market and Institutions. Respected colleagues, the second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of a National Public Safety Board and for related matters. Standing Honorable Gaza John Tegbefi, all members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 7 December 2021. I now invite Honorable Befi to move that the bill be read the second time.
Right Honorable Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, my name is Honorable Gaza Jonathan Befi, and I represent the people of Karu, Kefi, Kokona Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State. I rise to present a motion for a bill, for an act, to provide for the establishment of the National Public Safety Board and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The only Shetima in the house.
Please, Honorable Marian, if you are the acting chief whip, you must learn to cheaply act very well. Call the house to order, please. Or you vacate that seat.
Honorable Sai, please go back to your seat.
Mr. Speaker,
Maintain
sir.
order.
Honorable colleagues, I am Lawan Shatima Ali, representing Burusari, Gaidam, Yunusari Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Gaza. I so second, sir.
Respected colleagues, the question now is the bill be read the second time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Public Safety Board and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Safety Standards. Respectfully, the third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of bill for an act to provide for the establishment of a National Center for Research and Production of Snake Vaccines, Kaltungo, and for related matters standing in the name of Honorable Karu Simon Elisha. All members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 23rd February 2022, and now invite Honorable Elisha to move that the bill be read the second time. Yes, sir. You want to amend the existing law? Is it the point of order or you want to revote? But you have to allow him to move the motion first. Elisha, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Karu Simon Elisha. I represent Kaltungo, Shongam Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Center for Research and Production of Snake Vaccines in Kaltungo, Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Seconder. Yes, Honorable Pali.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Musa Mohammed Pali is my name, member representing Al-Khaliri, Kirfi Federal Constituency. I stand to second the motion ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so move. I so second.
Abonta, I'm bringing your... Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Ordinarily, there's need to give and lend support to such a bill, but we have an existing law that does research in that field. Nigerian Institute of Pharmaceutical Research does a lot of those research in those key areas that can be able to take care of that. My own issue is that probably let's just step it down for today and align it with the laws. If he agrees with the laws, we leave it. But if he doesn't agree with the law, we probably ask him to step it down completely. But the Institute of Pharmaceutical Research does a lot of research for this country. I am aware that when I was in the Committee on health services, we visited that institute very well, and I'm aware that they do such research, and the Act also incorporated that such research. So my suggestion, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleague, let's just step it down for today.
Mr. Speaker.
And align with the law first.
Maybe before your intervention, I'm aware this bill now that has been transformed into a bill was first brought as a motion. And it was on the advice of the House, the leadership, that advised him to go and bring it into the form of a bill because you can't achieve what he wanted to achieve through motion. Secondly, this was given to us on notice. And I expect anybody who have a genuine, not to be speculative, you should have come up to say, okay, ABC are the reasons why you think we should either consider or not consider. But for now, it would not be fair to Honorable Simon if we ask him to step down this bill. If there's an institution responsible, because this is very specific, snake bite. If we have any in the country, it's maybe to amend to say, okay, add the name Kaltungo on the long title, on the schedule, and that would have solved the problem. If we do not have, I will beg the House to allow his bill be ready the second time so that we can make progress. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Uzoma Nkem Abonta. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I've been privileged to look at the bill. I share the sentiments canvassed herein, but I have a worry, genuine worry. The cost of running governance is daily increasing. Mr. Speaker, it's also a fact that the body alluded by Honorable Osai does...
Honorable Dahosa, go back to your seat. Approach the whip. Approach the acting whip, please.
It's also on record that the House will also take legislative notice. I repeat, that the House will take legislative notice that the functions being canvassed here is contained in that. He specifically, though, asked for snake bites in a particular area. Mr. Speaker, it's entitled to say, let us cushion or reduce the effect of snake bites on area on the ground perhaps that the Katungo is infested with snakes. But Mr. Speaker, we'll be setting a very dangerous precedent if we proceed. Mr. Speaker, if we have a body, a board, from a school board, Mr. Am I protected? People should speak in silence. I don't know if I'm House Leader.
Chief Whip, please. Call the House to order.
One House, please. One House.
Please.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sada.
We are talking of...
One House.
We are talking of reducing cost of governance. Pride Adventure, this bill says through. Pride Adventure, the board is set. They will concentrate purely on snake bite and nothing. perhaps we'll now amend pharmaceutical board thing to exclude snake. My worry is now, will somebody now, not from a size village, wake up and say, let there be a board for scorpion bite? And then, are we going to refuse? I'm of the opinion sincerely, legislatively, with all sorts of legislative duties, to expand the work contained in the physical board and fast track it by enlarging it. Also, Mr. Speaker, a table, a department in this one school can be dedicated to snake. Because, one, we need these vaccines. We can't run away from it. We need vaccines. And snake, in recent time, had posed great dangers to us. In recent time, had posed great danger. So the intendment is very correct. The purpose is very correct. But procedurally, I should think that the pharmaceutical board should dedicate a whole desk to snake bite. Otherwise, we will be creating multiplicity, duplications that will...
Are you debating, Obonta? Are you debating?
I think this is what I've got started. And I want... Yes. It has been seconded, but I thought if we are going to debate, is to allow the person to lead the debate, because I want to beg. I want to beg that we do not need to. I want to beg. I say no. You are aware, and from here also I'm hearing the conversing that is going on, and I want to beg that we should allow our young ones to learn from us, so that they can also grow, improve on their own opportunities. It's important. We have done many establishment bills. I believe today will not be the last. Tomorrow we are going to face another one. Next tomorrow another one. And it will go on and on. We know part of the reasons. I want to beg. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Adodogwa is my name, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, like you rightly said, I just rise to also urge my respected colleagues to please allow this bill to cross the second reading. Some of the likely reasonable observations raised by my brother, Honorable Nicholas Osai, and some other issues raised by Honorable Obonta are issues that we can rightly address at the committee level when the matter is referred to the committee level. That is why we have procedure step by step. I would like to also believe that the little information you have offered the House now, they are not sufficient enough to get out of course. I want you to please, for now, allow the bill get to the second reading, and you have other observations to make about it, then follow it up with the committee, at the committee level. At the end of the committee engagements, I believe the committee will report all those things to the House for consideration. But at the moment, this bill should be allowed to pass the second reading. Please, in the name of Jesus.
Leader, thank you very much. And I think, Leader, I want to beg that there has been sufficient plea. Those in favor that the bill be raised to content say aye. Against say nay. There's have it. Clerk is invited to text with it.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members.
Ayes have it.
A bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Center for Research and Production of Snake Vaccines, Kaltungo, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Health Institutions. Respected colleagues, the fourth order of the day is a motion on need to reconstruct Jamari runabout along Kano Bauchi Meduguri Expressway, standing now Honorable Bashir Obama Mashema, or Mashema is invited to move the motion. Before you move your motion, Honorable Bashir, I have an announcement from the Leader of the House. This is to inform the APC caucus of the House of Representatives that there will be a meeting with Senator Abulai Adamu, aspirant for National Assembly, National Chairman, on Tuesday, 15 March 2022 at the House of Representatives Conference Room 0.28. Signed, Right Honorable Alasan Adodogwa, Leader of the House of Representatives. Thank you.
My right honorable speaker, my respected colleagues, my name is Bashir Obama Shima. I represent the good people of Jamare, Itas, Gadao Federal Constituency. I'm from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the urgent need to reconstruct Jamare Azare roundabout along Kano Bauchi Meduguri Expressway. The House notes that security and welfare of citizens is the primary purpose of government. Also note, the Jamare roundabout in Bauchi State links Yobe and Borno State, making it a very busy and essential route for the transportation of goods and services within and outside Bauchi State. Further note that in 2006, the federal government awarded a contract for dualization of 600-kilometer road in order to ease the movement of people and goods. Concern that lack of a well-constructed roundabout at Jamare, which links to Azare, has resulted in incessant accidents along the spot. Also concerned that the topography of the area around Jamare roundabout is so low that motorists are unable to see the river ahead until it becomes too late to avert a disaster. Worried that the roundabout has led to incessant loss of lives as there are no road bumps or adequate signs to alert unsuspecting motorists. Cognizant of the need to find a lasting solution in order to save lives of commuters playing the Kano-Bauchi Meduguri Road, especially around Jamare. Result: urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to reconstruct a roundabout at Jamare Azare along Kano-Bauchi Meduguri Expressway to avert further accidents and needless loss of life in the area. Mandate the Committee on Works to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Seconda. Yes, my brother from Zamfara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Honorable Show Ahmed Esflani, member representing Marubungu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Zamfara State. I write to second the motion raised by my colleague, I so called.
Answer. Respected colleagues, it's an infrastructure-related motion, so I now put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. Amendment? Honorable Ganiu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Abdulgani Johnson. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. The amendment...
Honorable Ayila, please.
The amendment is on the proposed reconstruction of the roundabout. We should introduce as an addendum for that roundabout. The reason being that if it is not as an addendum to the main contract, most likely the problem they are having now will continue to persist because the contract will just be hanging on its own. You need to marry it to the existing contract. So the only way you can marry it to the existing contract is by treating it as an addendum. So thus, I'm suggesting that we just recount the prayer 1 to reflect as an addendum to the old contract, which is the Jama Araze Azara, whatever.
Jama Ari.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Barrister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members. Kwamati Bitrus Laori, representing Numandam Salamude Federal Constituency, I second the amendment.
Honorable Babangida.
Are you sure Babangida is making those in favor of the amendment say aye? Against say nay. That's have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye? Against say nay. That's have it. The fifth order of the day is a motion on call to encourage the importation and use of low energy consuming appliances, standing in the name of Honorable Rotimi Agusoy. Honorable Agusoy is invited to move the motion.
Honorable Agusoy just sent in a message this morning that he has been briefed and he will not be on the floor to take the motion. Therefore, I move that item number 5 on the order paper be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Motion stepped down by the leader of the House. Honorable Bashuru Ayala, can you please approach the chair? Honorable Bashuru Ayala. Not on the floor?
Mr. Speaker, it seems Honorable Bashir also is not on the floor. Accordingly, I also move that his motion be stepped down by the leader of the House.
So you're applying, because I have not called for it. You're applying that the motion step down?
Yes, I am applying, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Motion step down by the leader of the House. Respected colleagues, the seventh order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Psychiatric Hospital Management Board Act, Cap P34, Laws of Federation Nigeria, 2004, to establish Federal Psychiatric Hospital, Budo-Egba, Kwara State, provide legal framework for establishment of the psychiatric hospital, to facilitate the training of specialist personnel at all levels, and for late matters, all members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 6th October 2021. The leader will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My respected colleagues, members of the 9th House of Representatives, I remain Ado Dogwa, representing the good people of Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Kano State. I rise to move as directed by the Speaker that a bill for an act to amend the Psychiatric Hospitals Management Board Act, Cap P34, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish Federal Psychiatric Hospital, Budo-Egba, Kwara State, provide legal framework for establishment of psychiatric hospital to facilitate the training of specialist personnel at all levels, and for related matters, HB 1593, a Senate bill taken the second time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I respectfully move.
Honorable Blessing. Honorable Blessing. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am Blessing Onyeche Onu, and I represent the good people of Otukpo Ohimini Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Your colleague.
Oh, my leader, the leader of the House.
I deliberately call you because in our rules, we are not supposed to be standing on the aisles. The leader, being leader of the House, as he was on the floor and had the floor, I do not expect us to disrespect that provision. Please, let's take it.
Thank you very
Take
much,
note of
Mr.
it.
Speaker.
Please be guided. Honorable Blessing, will be guided. Please.
My leader, I remain loyal.
And today we have accorded you the position of acting whip to pamper you because of the affirmative action problem we had on the last day.
Noted, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. Let's have it.
We are giving you acting whip.
The eighth order of the day is consideration of bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for other matters. All members recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 9 March 2022. The leader will move for its consideration.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to move as directed that a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Center, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I beg your pardon. I rise as directed to move that a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for related matters, HB, be taken for consideration at the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move. Thank you.
Yes, sir. At the estimate there. Which office?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Abdul Salam Gambo Mubarak. I represent Badigas on Federal Constituency. I'm from Taraba State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion as moved by my leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, move that will resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider reports.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I remain Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, I represent Dogwa Tudumada Federal Constituency. I rise to move that this House do resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move. Thank you.
Osai, you are asking for something. Do we have minority in the House still? Do we have minority still in the House? There are only three. Okay. you can second.
Yeah, at least. Let me thank the distinguished Speaker and distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai, and I represent Ndoko Okwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. I'm an Okwani man. I rise to second the motion ably moved by one of the longest serving legislators of our time, the leader of this great house. I so second.
Thank you. And because of that negotiation that we're doing with you, to secure your ticket in APC, will do our best to give you ticket.
Yes.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Against say nay. That's a bit.
Yes, with the amendment, sir, with the amendment you made, with that amendment you made is part of his motion. We will secure you a ticket.
The House is hereby dissolving the Committee of the Whole to consider report. Johnson. Respected colleagues, the first bill to be considered for an act to amend the Psychiatric Hospital Management Board ACAP P3 for Law Services in Nigeria 2004 to establish Federal Psychiatric Hospital Budo Igba, Kwara State, provide legal framework for establishment of the psychiatric hospital to facilitate the training of specialist personnel at all levels. And for this matter, I now invite the leader to give the senior citizen report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I think if you allow me the leave of the House, Mr. Chairman, the two bills that are taken, the bill is a straightforward bill, like I've earlier said, a Senate bill, and is also an establishment bill. I want to believe that this honorable House, as the House of the Nigerian people, will have no quarrel whatsoever with a bill that seeks to establish an institution that will be in the overall interest of the people of Nigeria through the Senate. And going by our bicameral existence as a National Assembly, this bill coming from the Senate, I think must have undergone virtually all the procedures, legislative procedures, all checks and balances, I'm sure must have been done at that level. I therefore plead with honorable members to allow this procedure go ahead without any hindrance. My respected colleagues and honorable Faleke, on the other hand, I so beg.
I think the leader has so many eyes. so he's seen beyond what is before him. But I would say for the benefit, the House had been doing a lot of job. Just 2 days ago, we considered conference committee report. And I believe those who saw the conference committee report, the bill came from the House, the Senate, but at the end of the day, it was the amendment that we made here that 75% were carried at the conference level. It means then we are doing a lot of job. So it doesn't matter where the bill is coming from. All that we should do, try to put our eagle eye as much as possible so that we can do the best for the country. Thank you. So, clause 1. Clause 2. Clause 2. Clause 3. Clause 4. Clause 5. Clause 6. Clause 7. Clause 8. Goro. Speak in low tune to the leader when addressing the leader. Clause 9. On what do you have? I have 9. Go to page 8. Okay. Excuse me. Except if this is a conference report. What do you have? The middle column is what was looking at. Yes. Thank you. So we have 9, carried, 10, 11, explanatory memoranda, long title. Colleagues, the next bill is for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for related matters. Mutumbiu. Gasol. I believe under Gasol. Thank you. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Sorry, leader. You know I'm very loyal. Thank you.
I was only trying to maybe give a little explanation to members that when they saw Mutimbiu being the location, it does not necessarily mean you have only 2 people there. There are a lot of people. There are not only 2 people there. There are a lot of people there, please. It's a big community, and they deserve to have this college of education. Please.
Well, Mutimbiu is a very historical place. Ancient, the colonial masters, what would I say, the missionaries had a base there, I believe with an air strip, good hospital. It used to serve the entirety part of the southern plateau, and then Taraba State, I believe so. So it's not to us, like he said.
So members should not mistake
yep.
that this institution is going to be cited for only 2 people. It's not for only 2 people. It's for a big community.
Thank you. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 6. Plus 7, plus 8, plus 9, plus 10, plus 11.
This is the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, transmitting to you live proceedings in the House of Representatives. At this moment, the House is at the Committee of the Whole considering bills. The first one considered was a bill to establish the Psychiatric Hospitals Management Board, while the second that is being considered clause by clause is a bill seeking provision to establish Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu in Taraba State. And this is where we come to the end of today's live transmission. We thank you for being with us. On behalf of all those that made it a success, I'm Lami Ali, thanking you for your time and urging you to stay tuned as we get back to the studio.
Thank you. Representing Malamfashi Kafur,
with the initiative, but there's a swift counter there by Dang Autan Kudawa. Well, they are sweating it out there. Quite literally, you can see how much beads of sweat. Oh, see the razzmatazz there from Algerin Metakwasara, and I like it. Resistance level in him, so much resistance, and I bet you Aljanin Metakwasara has a lot to do here today. Here is Aljanin Dogon Ebola taking on Bahagun and Sanda. Aljanin Dogon Ebola is the one where, and Aljanin Dogon Ebola has been killed. Something stylish about them, and Bahagun Dansanda is also dramatic about it.
There is an epidemic affecting individuals in every community, regardless of age, economic status, gender, race, religion, or nationality. It is called domestic violence. It can take a number of forms, including physical, verbal, emotional, economic, religious, or sexual abuse. The ultimate aim of domestic violence is to gain and maintain total control over its victim. Domestic violence does not discriminate. It happens among people of all ages, ethnic background, and economic levels. While women are more commonly victimized, men are also abused, especially verbally and emotionally, although sometimes even physically as well. Unfortunately, domestic violence is among the most underreported crimes worldwide for both men and women. An abuser doesn't play fair. He or she uses fear, guilt, shame, and intimidation to wear down his or her victims and keep them perpetually under his or her control. Abusers may often seem wonderful and perfect initially, but gradually become more aggressive and controlling as the relationship continues. Here are some signs of abusive tendencies: showing jealousy of the victim's family and friends, accusing victim of cheating, controlling who the victim sees, where they go, or what they do, preventing the victim from making his or her own decision, intimidating the victim with guns, knives, or other weapons. Noticing and acknowledging the signs of an abusive relationship is the first step to ending it. Therefore, abusive behavior is never acceptable, whether it is coming from a man or a woman, a teenager, or an older adult. We all deserve to be valued, respected, and safe.
We want to talk about rights, there are obligations. I'm not saying that this government is a saint, very far from it. But there are things that we can do to make it better, and that's the challenge I'm throwing to you. You don't want to build this nation? I don't know where else you want to go. If I had a choice, I'll come back. When I stand outside and I hear what you have to say about this country that I know that I can die for as one, then I'm really sad because you're young. You have education. You have tools. You have a huge future ahead of you. And you're condemning yourself before you started on that journey. So please don't do that. Please don't.